Wine Wednesday, Stampede edition, although I don't know how much Stampede we're talking about. Stampede and wine. It's an odd little week, isn't it?
It is a little bit. I mean, there's two types of Calgarians, those that go crazy for Stampede and those that don't. So, I mean, I think we're kind of split between you and I as to who's who. I love Stampede.
Yeah, I mean, I love it too.
You just took a vacation.
Yeah, I like it. I'm not like, Bailey's at 9 a.m. guy, though,
Yeah.
I feel like, you got to be careful. You got to pace yourself.
Yeah.
And, being a wine store predominantly, we don't get not a lot of dinner parties going on this week as people are busy doing their Stampede work stuff. But if you are having some people over, or if you're looking to escape the madness and just chill out at home with a glass of wine, then that's good options for you.
We definitely do. I mean, I always associate Stampede with a little bit of barbecue, some gatherings with friends. So the things that we're talking about today are our weekly features, which are going to pair perfectly with barbecue, and of course a couple of new sale items that are going to be great for that backyard gathering.
Well, Steele's always a nice start for barbecue season,
Sure
right? I think Jed Steele, one of our favorite producers in California for a few reasons, but the biggest reason is probably bang for the buck, right? Steele, since, I don't know, we've carried these wines for over 20 years at least, and they still remain some of the best buys in California, and the key to that really is where they're located, right?
Yeah, they're up in Lake County, so I mean, what I love about his wines is like the Pinot Noir is still a really approachable, really friendly style of Pinot Noir for California.
Let's see if you're telling the truth.
But I mean, Pinot Noir is endlessly difficult to find. I was talking about this last week with the Henri Pillon wines. You want to find great value, but finding Pinot under $30 that really drinks above its price point is difficult. And Jed Steele, this is his answer
Especially
to that.
in California.
Yeah.
I mean, California wines aren't inexpensive, right? It all comes down to land price, and let's face it, if you want to go buy a piece of land in Napa right now, it's not super affordable. So we go up to Lake County, it's about an hour and 20-minute drive north of Napa, and we've seen a real big explosion of vineyard plans up there because the land just isn't, you'd probably afford to buy a house up there if you had to, It's not super expensive land. And it's a little cooler climate. The history there is really a lot of sort of Italian immigrants that moved there, planted a lot of Zinfandel. So you see a lot of things like Zinfandels that are hitting kind of the 80, 90-year-old vineyards, which is really cool. So they're making some great Zinfandel. And Pinot Noir is another great variety that's really starting to find a home up there because, again, a little cooler climate.
Well, and I think Pinot really needs that cooler climate in order to show its freshness and brightness. If you get a little bit too much heat, it can come across a little bit more like strawberry jam, a little stewy, right? And you want that element of freshness. And I love that this one also has that little kind of like spicy cinnamon baking spice thing that happens too.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch Sideways, you probably know Pinot Noir is a tricky grape to grow, right? It's not easy. And in California, sort of the best spots for it typically are a little cooler in Sonoma, but again, the land is really, really pricey. So sort of even the mid-range examples kind of are north of $50, $60. So finding them in this, what's this guy going for now?
$25.95. It's a great value.
It's gone up $5 in the last like 8-9 years. Like that's a pretty good deal.
Look at the rate of inflation. That's pretty darn good.
That's a good deal. It's a good buy. And again, it's not that sweet style, right? Like
no, this is really good.
A lot of these are pretty sugared up, mass produced. Steele's still a small winery. It's still a family winery. You go up and visit. It's the same guys working there. I go visit all the time, and they have this great culture there. It's a real small production. People that have worked there, 20, 30 years, and love supporting these guys. And I'm going to support this with a bottle or two. There you go. I'm doing all the talking.
You really are.
All right, so we got Steele, Zin, phenomenal, Pinot Noir, great value, and then it's a new month, so we got new sale wines, right?
New sale wines, and again, summer wine, or if you like dry white wines, Muscadet is really the way to go if you're doing any kind of like oysters, mussels, grilled whitefish on the barbecue. This is the answer to everything. It's dry, it's mineral, it's crispy, and it's on sale for $19.95.
That is a crazy good deal. This was kind of a little one-off they did at Domaine de la Pepierre, right? So Pepierre, one of the most famous producers of Muscadet, their wines go all the way up to $40, $45. And they did a little sort of offshoot one time of this Merci with a little bit of purchase fruit from some of their neighbors. And it is a spectacular buy at $25, but at $19. Even better. So yeah, if you're looking for a summer white, why wouldn't you get a case of that, right?
Why wouldn't you at $20? And I love the story about it. He's got the little picture on the front of his friends arm in arm, because really what's happened in the last little bit, you had some pretty hard frost spouts that have hit the Loire, and it's really done some damage to some of these smaller guys. And all of his friends and neighbors contributed some grapes and fruit, so he could still produce a vintage and didn't have to go under for that year, right? So it's really kind of a nice tribute to.
It's a touching little story. Friends helping each other out. So
right?
yeah. And honestly, if you haven't had Whiskey Day before, it's that really bone dry, crisp style, right? It's just like super fresh, really minerally. Could not get a better summer wine. Speaking of summer wines,
Unless you're getting the box.
box rosé. Why is that up there, Robin?
Well, we just took $10 off the box of rosé, so it's now at $59.95, equal to 4 bottles in volume.
Want to do the quick math there?
Nope. And it comes with this
$15
convenient little spout on the side. Math is not
It's
really
$15
my
a
forte,
bottle.
okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, it's $15 a bottle. That's pretty good.
I'm good at the pouring portion.
And actually, it's a good point, because this wine in bottle is like 20, right?
Yeah.
So it's a good deal. It's $5 off per bottle. So you're saving $20. So much math today.
Yeah.
Really, so much math today. Must be a later edition. All right, and you got a new case this month.
And then a new case of the month too. So every month we put out 12 of our favorite market wines selections at 15% off. So this is on for $2.52 to get all 12 bottles. Last month I said it was one of the best ones we've done yet this year, and I'm going to say it again this month because it just keeps going.
That's okay.
I know.
Nice to see that guy back.
Honestly,
Gonna put a few
Berta
smiles
Morena.
on faces,
Yes.
yeah.
The Insolia from Nicosia. We've got a little white Lambrusco, which is awesome too. Just something like really unique and different than our usual bubbles that we put out there.
Yeah.
L'Hermite is back with the brand new vintage of its rosé. I mean, everything in here is fantastic. And of course the Zinfandel that's on feature this week if you want to try it in a case.
And a little 1 liter bonus bottle of Gruner. Who doesn't want that?
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well,
just pick them all up. They're online. They're
Make it
in
pretty
store.
easy.
We'll have them open for tasting.
come by, say hi, take a little Stampede break, and come by for another drink.